My girlfriend said, if you loved me, you'd pay my $47,000 medical debt without questions, I replied. Show me the bills, then hired a private investigator instead. And what he uncovered made her beg for forgiveness on her knees. I didn't say a word because her fiancé was already waiting outside. Guys, I am literally shaking as I type this. My whole relationship was a lie, and I just found out in the most devastating way possible. I am 31 years old, and I thought I knew Madison after 2.5 years together. She is 28, and we have been living in my house for the past year, talking about marriage, the whole 9 yards. She is sweet, caring, always posts about us on social media with captions like my forever person and building our dream life together. Last Tuesday night, I am making dinner when she comes into the kitchen crying. Like, ugly crying. Mascara everywhere, hyperventilating, the works. Babe, what is wrong? I drop everything and hold her. I need to tell you something. She chokes out. Remember when I had that emergency surgery 6 months ago for my appendix? Of course I remember. She was in emergency surgery for 3 hours while I sat in the waiting room terrified she might die. I brought her flowers every day during recovery, took 2 weeks off work to take care of her. The bills came back. She continues sobbing. Insurance denied most of it. I owe $47,000 and they are threatening to sue me. My credit is ruined. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. Tyler, I am so scared. My heart breaks for her. I make decent money in software development, about $110,000 a year, but $47,000 is still a massive hit. Why didn't you tell me sooner? We could have fought the insurance company together. I was embarrassed. I didn't want you to think I was using you for money. More tears. But Tyler, if you really love me, if you want to marry me someday, we need to handle this together. A real partner would help without making me feel guilty about it. Something about that phrasing felt off, but seeing her so upset, I pushed the feeling down. Okay, let's look at the bills together. Figure out payment plans, maybe get a medical advocate. No, she practically shouted. I mean, I already threw them away. I was so upset. Cannot you just trust me? Write a check to the hospital, and we can move on with our lives. Red flags are going off like crazy now. Madison, I am not writing a $47,000 check without seeing documentation. That is not about trust. That is about being responsible. Her whole demeanor changed. The tears stopped like someone flipped a switch. This is exactly what Brittany said would happen. You claim you love me, but when I actually need you, you get all controlling and paranoid, Brittany. Her toxic best friend who is convinced every man is a walking red flag. I am not being controlling. I am asking to see medical bills before paying them. That is normal. Connor would have just helped me. No questions asked Connor, her ex-boyfriend she supposedly hates but brings up every time we fight. I am not Connor, and if you want my help, I need to see the bills. She stormed out, slamming our bedroom door so hard a picture fell off the wall. I sat there thinking about when exactly this surgery happened. I remember the day clearly because I was so worried, but something felt wrong about the timeline. So I did something I have never done before. I hired a private investigator. I called my buddy Jake who went through a messy divorce. He recommended this guy Steve who specializes in financial investigations. Cost me $2,000 up front, but I had to know. I gave Steve everything. Madison's full name, the hospital she claimed to have surgery at, her insurance information I had seen on our shared health app. 3 days later, Steve called. Tyler, you need to sit down for this one. Man, holy shit, this blew up. Reading all your comments, and yeah, I see the red flags I missed. Update coming tomorrow when I confront her with what Steve found. It is so much worse than just fake medical bills. Update 1, posted 1 day later. Oh my god, you guys. Oh my god. Steve just sent me his full report and I had to leave work early because I thought I was going to throw up. There was no surgery, no appendectomy, no hospital stay, nothing. The day Madison claimed she was in emergency surgery, security footage from the hospital shows she never even entered the building. I sat in that waiting room for 3 hours while she was somewhere else. But wait, it gets so much worse. Steve dug deeper into her finances, that $47,000 medical debt. It is real debt, but not medical. It is a $31,000 engagement ring from Tiffany & Company and a $16,000 couple's trip to Bali. both purchased 7 months ago, both on credit cards in her name, but here is the kicker that made me actually vomit. The Bali trip wasn't with me. I have never been to Bali. I was working overtime that week. She claimed she was visiting her sick aunt in Portland. Steve found the Instagram posts, Madison and Connor, her ex who she supposedly hates, on a beach in Bali. Pictures of them at fancy dinners. Pictures of her wearing a massive diamond ring. Caption on one post, he finally proposed, engaged and blessed. Bali baby. They are engaged. The girl I have been living with, planning a future with, sharing my bed with, is engaged to another man. I am staring at these photos and I cannot breathe. There is Madison. My Madison, kissing Connor on a beach while I am working 60-hour weeks thinking about proposing to her myself. But Steve wasn't done. Oh no, it gets worse. Remember those girls' nights with Brittany? Credit card records show Madison was staying at the Four Seasons downtown, the same hotel where Connor lives in a corporate apartment. Those weekend visits to her parents. Connor's Venmo shows payments to Madison for rent money baby with heart emojis every month. She has been living with both of us. Literally playing house with two men. When I got home last night, Madison was cooking dinner like nothing happened. Humming while she made my favorite pasta. How was work, babe? She asked, kissing my cheek. I almost lost it right there. Instead, I said, fine. Hey, how is your medical debt situation? Any updates? Oh, still the same. The hospital is being really aggressive about payment. I am so stressed. She even managed to tear up on command. The acting was Oscar-worthy. Maybe I should call the hospital directly. Help advocate for you. Her face went white. No. I mean, I would rather handle it myself. It is embarrassing. I nodded, played along. Okay, baby, whatever you need. Then I went to our bedroom and printed out every single thing Steve found. Photos, receipts, credit reports, hotel stays, Venmo payments, airline tickets to Bali, the Tiffany receipt for the ring, all of it. Tonight, Brittany is coming over for girls' night. Except this time, I am going to be here when she arrives. Time for the confrontation of a lifetime. Stop asking me to update right now. I need to process this and plan carefully. Brittany should be here in about 2 hours. I will update tomorrow with how it goes down. But holy shit, some of you called this exactly right. Update 2. Posted 2 days later. Jesus Christ. Reddit. Last night was absolutely insane, so Brittany showed up around 7 p.m. for their girls' night. I was in my home office with the door cracked, listening. He is being so weird lately, Madison was telling her. Asking questions about the medical bills, wanting to see paperwork. I think he is getting suspicious. Maybe you should just tell him the truth, Brittany said. Wait, what? Brittany knows. Are you insane? Madison hissed. I am not giving up this setup. Tyler pays for everything here, and Connor's got the emotional connection plus the ring. Why would I ruin the perfect situation? Because it is messed up, Maddie. You are literally engaged to Connor while living with Tyler. What happens when one of them finds out? They will not. Connor thinks I am saving money by having a roommate. Tyler thinks Connor is ancient history. I just need Tyler to pay off the ring and vacation debt. Then I can phase him out gradually. My blood was boiling. But what if Tyler proposes? Brittany asked. Madison laughed. Actually laughed. God, I hope not. Can you imagine? I would have to pretend to be excited, then figure out how to turn him down without losing my free housing. That is when I walked out of the office. Hey ladies, I said casually. Don't mind me, just grabbing some water. Madison's face went pure white. Tyler, I thought you were working late. Change of plans. I smiled. Actually, perfect timing. I have got something to show you both. I walked back to my office and grabbed the folder with all of Steve's findings. Madison, remember how you said if I loved you, I would help with your medical debt, no questions asked? She nodded nervously. Well, I love you so much that I wanted to make sure I was helping in the best way possible. So I hired someone to review your case. I dropped the folder on the coffee table, photos of her and Connor in Bali scattered everywhere. The silence was deafening. Brittany whispered, "Oh no." Madison stared at the photos like they were going to disappear. Tyler, I can explain. Explain what? That you are engaged to Connor. That you have been living with both of us. That you lied about surgery to get me to pay for your fiancé's ring. It is not what it looks like. I pulled out the Tiffany receipt. A $31,000 engagement ring isn't what it looks like. Brittany stood up. I should go. No, Brittany, sit down. You are part of this too. I looked at her. How long have you known? She wouldn't meet my eyes, Tyler. I told her this was wrong. How long? Since the beginning, Madison answered for her. Brittany introduced us to Connor at that bar. She knew I was with you when I started seeing him too. The betrayal hit me in waves. Not just Madison, but Brittany, who I had welcomed into my home, who I had bought Christmas gifts for, who I had trusted as Madison's friend. So those girls' nights were cover for me to stay with Connor. Madison finished quietly. And the medical emergency. I was with Connor, getting the ring sized. For 3 hours while I sat terrified in a hospital waiting room, she was trying on her engagement ring with another man. Madison, get out, both of you. Get out of my house right now. Tyler, please get out. Madison started crying. Real tears this time. Where am I supposed to go? To your fiancé. You know, Connor, the one you are actually engaged to? He doesn't know about you. If he finds out I have been living with another guy, he will leave me. The audacity, the absolute audacity. That sounds like a you problem. It took them 2 hours to pack Madison's stuff. She kept trying to explain, justify, negotiate. Connor doesn't make enough money for us to live comfortably, she said. I needed financial stability while building our relationship, so you used me. It wasn't using. I do love you, Tyler. Just differently. You love my house and my paycheck. That is not fair. Fair. As they were loading Brittany's car, Madison turned back to me. Connor's going to find out about this, you know. He is going to be devastated that I was living with another man. Good, I said. He deserves to know who he is marrying. Her face went cold. If you tell him anything, I will destroy you. I will tell everyone you were abusive, controlling, that you monitored my every move. Madison, I have documentation of everything. Bank records, hotel receipts, photos of your secret engagement. Try me. She finally understood she had no power here. They left. I poured myself the biggest whiskey of my life and called Steve. How much would it cost to send Connor everything we found? Steve laughed. For you, free of charge. This is the most entertaining case I have had all year. Yes, I am absolutely sending Connor everything. That poor guy deserves to know. Update coming soon with his reaction. Update 3, final update. Posted 1 week later. Holy shit. Reddit. This has been the wildest week of my life. So Steve sent Connor a complete package of evidence on Thursday morning. Photos, receipts, hotel records, everything. Professional delivery, signature required. By Thursday afternoon, my phone was blowing up. First call was from Madison. Absolutely hysterical. Tyler, what did you do? Connor is freaking out. He is calling off the engagement. Good for him. You ruined everything. We were going to get married. I loved him. You had a funny way of showing it by living with me for a year. I was trying to save money for our future. The delusion was incredible. Second call was from Connor himself. Dude, I owe you a beer. Holy shit. Turns out, Connor is actually a decent guy who had no idea Madison was living with another man. He thought she was staying with Brittany to save money. He had been planning their wedding, talking about kids, the whole future while she was sleeping in my bed. I am actually grateful you found out, he told me. Better now than after we are married with joint bank accounts. We talked for over an hour. Connor had his own suspicions. Madison was always unavailable certain nights. Claimed she was working late or out with Brittany. She would get weird about him dropping by unannounced. Now it all made sense. But here's the crazy part. Connor started investigating too. And he found out Madison's been running this scam longer than either of us knew. Remember how she said Brittany introduced them? Well, Connor found text messages between Madison and Brittany from 2 years ago planning this whole thing. Find a stable guy to be my financial backup while I date for love. They literally strategized how to find me. Brittany identified me at the gym, found out I owned my house, confirmed I made good money, then orchestrated that chance meeting at the bar. I wasn't Madison's boyfriend. I was her mark. For 2.5 years, every moment between us was calculated. Every I love you, every future plan, every intimate conversation. She was acting the entire time. But wait, there is more. Connor kept digging and found out I wasn't even Madison's first financial backup. There was another guy, Michael, 2 years before me, same setup. She lived with him while dating Connor initially. When Michael got suspicious and ended things, she moved on to targeting me. Michael actually reached out after Connor posted about this in a local Facebook group. Turns out Madison tried the same medical emergency scam with him. Fake surgery, fake bills, emotional manipulation. When he asked for paperwork, she dumped him and moved on. It is a pattern. A literal con game. Friday morning. I get a knock on my door. It is Madison's parents. Tyler, we are so sorry, her mom said, crying. We had no idea she was doing this to you. Apparently, Connor had called them Thursday night to ask why their daughter was such a sociopath. They were devastated. Madison had told them Connor was an on and off casual thing, and that I was her serious boyfriend she was planning to marry. We have been asking about you for months, her dad said. When are we meeting Tyler? When is he coming for dinner? She always had excuses, because she couldn't bring me around Connor's family and couldn't bring Connor around me. Her parents offered to pay me back for anything Madison had taken. I declined, but appreciated the gesture. They are cutting her off completely and forcing her into therapy. This isn't the daughter we raised, her mom said. Saturday, I decided to drive by Connor's apartment complex. Just curiosity. And there is Madison, sitting on the curb with suitcases, crying on the phone. I almost felt bad for her, almost. Connor had kicked her out, the engagement was off. Brittany wasn't answering her calls because Connor had sent her screenshots of the text messages planning to scam me, and Brittany realized she could be considered an accomplice. Sunday, Madison sent me one final text from a new number. I hope you are happy. You destroyed my entire life over money. Connor will not even let me explain. I have nowhere to go. My parents hate me, all because you couldn't just trust me and help like a normal boyfriend would. I replied, Madison, you destroyed your own life when you decided to live a double life with 2 men. I was never your boyfriend. I was your ATM. Then I blocked the number. It has been 3 months now. Madison moved back to her hometown, living with an Aunt Connor, and I actually became friends. We meet up for drinks sometimes and laugh about how we both dodged the same bullet. Brittany got fired from her job when this all came out, apparently using personal information from her HR position to help Madison target financially stable men was grounds for immediate termination. Who knew? I started dating again. Met someone amazing who thinks the whole story is insane but appreciates how I handled it. She jokes that our first date will not involve any paperwork review, and Madison. Last I heard, she is working at a restaurant and posting bitter quotes on Instagram about fake friends and men who cannot appreciate real love. The ring. Connor returned it to Tiffany. Got most of his money back since it was barely worn. The medical debt that started this whole thing. Madison still stuck with it. Turns out when you charge $47,000 for fake emergencies, the credit card companies still expect payment. Lesson learned. If someone demands you prove your love with money, run. Real love doesn't come with a payment plan. Oh, and I kept Steve's business card. Best $2,000 I ever spent. For everyone asking. Yes, I am considering writing a book about this. How I accidentally became someone's side hustle has a nice ring to it. No, I don't feel bad for Madison. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. Connor says, "Hi, Reddit." He is reading all your comments and dying laughing at the ones calling Madison a discount store gold digger. Stay classy.